الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى. Today I will simply show certain glimpses from Surah Taha. You know, it is a very well-known surah. And whenever I read it, for various reasons, I smile and I become so happy. And you would understand why so happy by reading Surah Taha. Because what Musa alayhi salam did, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him and talked to him what he did, then you would enjoy as well. But before that, Surah Taha is very well known surah because of Umar Farooq Rizallahu. It's a relationship with Umar Farooq Rizallahu. It was revealed after the Muslims were forced to immigrate from Makkah to Habsha, to Ethiopia. So just after that. And before Umar Farooq Rizallahu, he embraced Islam. Umar Farooq was very serious and sincere type. Remember these statements. The people who are serious and sincere type, even though they may not be on the right path today, there is a chance tomorrow they will be on the right path. The people who think, who use their critical thinking, who analyze the situation, they are serious type. They are not type, very sort of a hush type. These are different type of people. Some may be good, some may be bad, they are different. But the people who are serious or sincere type, if they get the message across, the chances are very high that they will get onto the right path. Umar Farooq Rizallahu anhu, he used to think a lot. What sort of a prophet is he? Since he has proclaimed his prophethood, there is a fire in every house. The father against the son, the sister against the sister, the mother against the daughter, the brother against the brother. What sort of religion he has brought? He used to think, and that was truth, that because in every household the people some became Muslim, some is still not a Muslim, and there is an argument, and there is a dispute and quarrel, and even worse than that. So when the things went on, Umar Farooq Rizallahu, when he was not a Muslim at that time, but he was a very brave man, sincere type, and I thought, look, let us finish this man now. We had enough of it. Let us finish him, the story will end there. So he unsheathed his sword, and from home he is walking towards Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He knew where he would be, or he is likely to be. So he is now walking to finish it up. On the way, there was a person. No one knew that he has become a Muslim. So Umar Farooq Rizallahu anhu did not know he is a Muslim. So that man, when he saw Umar Farooq Rizallahu anhu, absolutely supposedly brave and courageous man, and yet with the unsheathed sword, he knew that there is a trouble today. And he was a Muslim. But Umar Farooq Rizallahu anhu did not know he was a Muslim. So he wanted to deflect Umar Farooq Rizallahu anhu somehow. So what to do? Then he said, well, where are you going? And what are you up to? He told, well, let me finish this Muhammad, under brackets, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Let me finish him up because we had enough of it. He told, well, you're after Muhammad, aren't you? Why don't you look after your own sister and your brother-in-law? He tried to provoke him. That man, why don't you look after your own sister and your own brother-in-law? What about him? So he said, they have become also Muslim, follower of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, if that's the case, with the sword he went to his sister's house. And from outside he could hear the sound of tilawah. Inside was his sister, Fatima ibn al-Khattab, raziyallahu anha, her husband Sa'id ibn Zaid raziyallahu anhu, and Khabab bin Arath raziyallahu anhu. Three people. Khabab bin Arath raziyallahu anhu was a teacher. He was teaching these two, the husband and the wife, the Surah Taha. He heard this, he went inside, and then after that, as soon as he entered the Khabbab bin Arat, he went and hid himself, and then he started beating. He started beating his brother-in-law. And then his sister fell on her husband, trying to save him from the beatings by Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu. She got beaten as well and hit, and therefore she started bleeding from the head. There was a fracture in the head actually, so it started bleeding badly. And then when he saw the blood coming from the skull of his sister, Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu, he was not a Muslim, he became a bit soft. What I am up to, what I am doing. And then he said, okay, so I know you were reading something. Show me. He told, no, we are not going to show. You will tear it. He told, no, I will not tear it, I promise. He told, well, okay, show me. But I cannot give it to you, his sister says, because you are not tahir. You have to take the bath. So he told, well, okay. So he took the bath, and then he saw it. And then he says, okay, read it then. He knew, how, by the way, how to read and write. It was Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu from before. Because most of the people were unlettered, but he knew. So, wow, beautiful kalam, beautiful statement. This was the Surah Taha. So when he read it, he says, wow, beautiful kalam. Khabbab bin Arat was hiding in that house. He jumped. He told, well then, Rasulullah only yesterday he did dua, Ya Allah, Ibn al-Hakam, or Umar, help with these two, Umar ibn al-Khattab or Ibn Hakam. So who was that? Ibn Hakam, Abu Jahl. So Rasulullah had prayed that, oh Allah, help Islam and Muslims by making the Abu Jahl believer, or Umar Farooq believer, or Umar Radhiyallahu anhu believer, or Umar ibn al-Khattab Radhiyallahu anhu believer. So he jumped and he said, well, so let us go, move forward, chalo, chalo. Rasulullah, he started sort of making noise to Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu. When he heard this, that even though he was enemy, he was going to kill Rasulullah, and Rasulullah still expected and was doing dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he just melted away, and then he went there, and the rest I don't want to go into detail because we want to talk about Surah Taha. So this is Surah Taha, how it absolutely melted away Umar Farooq Radhiyallahu anhu, and therefore, and then it went and accepted the Islam. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ma anzalna alayka al-Quran. We have not revealed this Quran unto you, letashqa, so that you become wretched, you become distressed. Illa taskarata liman yakhsha. But it is only a reminder for the one who fears. And it carries on. Now, this is the particular few ayah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I feel so inside my heart, so happy. Just listen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى. O Musa, what is in your right hand? قَالَ هِيَ أَسَايَ. He said, it is my staff, my stick. He should have stopped there. Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked, what is in your right hand? He should have said, it is my stick, full stop, and then shut up. No. Listen, what he says. أَتَوَكَّوْ عَلَيْهَا. I reclined over it. Yeah, I lean over it. وَحُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَمِ. And I beat the leaves for my sheep. وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَارِبُ أُخْرَى. And for me, I've got other work as well. Now look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked only one question. What is in your hand? He should have told, it is my stick or my staff. Finish. No. He continues. It is my stick. I lean over it. I beat the bush and beat the tree leaves for my sheep, and I have got other works as well. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know, as if. Look at the way Musa alayhi salam is talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the reason Musa Kalimullah. Musa, the one who talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See the way he is talking. Why? I give you an example. If you have to meet a big sheikh, Somehow you met a big sheikh whom you revere and you like and you love. What would you do? If you would like to hover around that sheikh all the time, so that in case his tawajjah and his eye, it is attention, he pays attention to me. If he asks one thing, you will try to carry on for a while talking to him. Similarly, Musa alayhi salam, he keeps on, he's trying to prolong his talking time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise the question was only one. What is in your right hand? I've got a stick in my right hand, that's all. No, no, no. He keeps on, and I've got a lot of work, and I lean over it, and I beat the leaves for my sheep, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not know. So whenever I read, I really enjoy thoroughly, subhanallah. And then you have heard always, قَالَ رَبِّ اشْرَحْ لِي صَدْرِي, O my Lord, open my chest, وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي, and make my affairs easy, وَهْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي, and dissolve the knot of my tongue, يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي, so that they could understand my statement. Always you will hear the scholars, when they talk about it, they start with this statement. This is in Surah Taha. Now, I have told you before, but listen again, it's worth it. You know, in Abbasi Khalifa, usually we always remember bad things about these Khulafa in the past. You call Khulafa kings, whatever you call. They had bad things, but they had a lot of good things, man, as well. We don't want to remember it. We don't want to know it. But remember this, and I have told you before, 7 of the Abbasi Khulafa were Huffaz Quran, Hafiz Quran. And there are many narrations which suggest that dozens or 100 rakah they used to pray in the night. Not all. Don't misquote me now. One here, 1, 2 examples. So in other words, they were good people as well in there. Not completely as if they were. Now look what happens. The norm was on the Friday, after Friday prayer, they will eat, and then the people will gather together. There will be a majlis or hafla, and there will be a sheikh. They will ask the sheikh to tell something about it or teach hadith or something else. So one day, this Abbasi Khalifa, he asked the sheikh to do nasiha, give some admonition, some lessons. And this sheikh was big, so he wanted to make sure, because he knew Afzalul Jihad Kalmatul Haq in the Sultan Jair. The best jihad is to say on the face of the tyrant and brute king, on his face, that you are a zalim. Afzalul Jihad Kalmatul Haq in the Sultan Jair. So he said, you know, you are zalim, and your advisors and mashir, they are zalim. Your umrah are zalim, and they are not doing good job. They are not maintaining justice. They are not doing adl. This, that, and the other. He said, and he thought, I mean, obviously telling that much, you have to have a courage and the bravery. That sheikh was big enough, and he knew that he might be killed or he might be persecuted. But nevertheless, he thought he has to do justice and he has to tell him. He was telling a loud voice. Now look what Abbasi Khalifa does. And the truth was there, that there was a zulm. But look what he says. He says, look, Ya Sheikh, I am not worse than Firaun, and you are not better than Musa. Because he read this ayah. Who? Abbasi Khalifa. Do we remember these things? No, no, no. It's a whole question of harem and women and sharab and alcohol and this, that, and that. We always remember very nasty things. If that was true, they would not have ruled this world for so many years, for centuries and centuries. We have to remember that. The reason is we have to give those things to our children, to have that sense of confidence, to have that sense of pride. Our children have got no sense of pride. किसी चीज पर उनको फख्र नहीं है. Look, izhaba ila Firaun innahu tagha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam and to Harun alayhi salam, to both. That's reason too. Izhaba, both of you go to Firaun innahu tagha. He has transgressed. Sarkash ho gaya hai, bagi ho gaya hai. Faqula, so both of you should say lahu, to him, qawlan layyanan, the gentle and soft words. What? This Firaun? The Quran has got nothing but curse and curse and curse and lana on the Firaun. And yet, and on that Firaun, on whose the lana is from the Allah, from the prophets, from the malaika, and from Vannase Ajmain, and from all people. Huh? That Firaun, talk to him gently and softly. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling. That's the reason this Abbasi Khalifa said that you are not better than Musa, I am no worse than, I may be zalim, not worse than Firaun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam to go to Firaun and talk to him gently, softly, softer spoken. Is that our identity in the world? Muslims, they are softer spoken, they are gentle. No. We talk loudly. We don't use gentle words, soft words. This is not our upbringing. Does it make sense? So this should be part of our personality. We have started learning these things here, man. But Quran taught us more than 1400 years ago. But we should teach our children, who is elder, who is younger, how you should address, how you should talk. Because these are questions of emotional intelligence, which you hear so much about it these days. Now, this ayah we all read. I'm not going to go into detail. All read when we go to bury a Muslim believer in the Qabristan. We say, Minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrajakum taratan ukhra. When we give the soil or clay, the 3 times, that's what we do, isn't it? Minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. From this soil we have created you. Wa fiha nu'idukum, and here we return you. That means in the grave. Wa minha nukhrijukum, and on the day of after the day of Qiyamah, when the second sur, then we will raise you up from the qabr. You will get up. Wa minha, from that qabr. Nukhrijukum taratan ukhra, second time. So when we read it, you should remember where it is in Surah Taha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives detailed description of Musa and Firaun, and I will skip it here, but I will still. The concept of shafa or intercession, in all religion there is a there. In Christianity, because that's the reason Jesus Christ was crucified. He went on cross to do the salvation of the whole Christian world till the doomsday, till the Armageddon. Similarly, Hindus, they have got their own concept of intercession, and we have got our concept of intercession as well. It is the wrong concept of intercession which makes a person either evil or good. Remember that statement. Because if he knows that he is going to be salvaged anyway, he will achieve the salvation without being careful with regard to his time, his money, his resources, his potentials. Why should he bother and restrain himself from not doing zulm, or from not usurping someone else's land, or not sort of robbing someone else? Why should someone restrain himself? I will be salvaged anyway. But our religion is very simple. You will get what you have paid for. Yeah? وَعَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. There is nothing for a person in the life hereafter except what he has striven for. You know, this morning, well, early morning, not last night, you could say, when we were reading, and I kept on repeating this word from Surah Naziyat. You know, يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. Sometimes we should do this. In Qiyamul Layl, when we read, we should read it. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. That day the person will remember what he had done on this earth. Everything will be like a video film. What he had done on this earth, he will remember. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. किसी को कहने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, he would remember. Now one thing more. يَوْمَ إِذٍ لَا تَنْفَعُ الشَّفَاعَةُ إِلَّا مَنْ أَذِنَ لَهُ الرَّحْمَنُ وَرَضِيَ لَهُ قَوْلًا. That day, the intercession, shafaat, will not be effective, will not be beneficial, except for whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you should do shafaat for this person, and he is happy with his qawl as well. Do you know why Allah will do this? Let me explain to you. On this earth, isn't it true that Rasulullah ﷺ said, among you are people whose hair are scattered. Their face looks dirty or dusty. Their clothes, they are not very clean looking. The person, if he comes to any hafla, any majlis, no one cares. If he didn't come to any majlis, no one cares. No one asks why that sahib did not come. You know, if bada sahib, big sahib, in a majlis, if he does not come, everyone asks, where is that sahib? Why that sahib was not here yet? Also, whether he came, he didn't, no one cares. In other words, he is worthless on this earth. But if that person takes a qasam billah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fulfill his qasam. Did you understand it? So there are people on this earth, they are not looking much of worth. We think that they are gharib, miskin, faqir, of no status, nothing. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise that day. And He will ask that person whom we always think that he is worthless, Allah will ask him to elevate his position. Today, whoever you intercede on, whoever behalf, I will forgive him. To intercede, to elevate his position. Similarly, there are many zalim people on this earth. They have done zulm, and there are many mazloom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that day, mazloom because they could not take any revenge, any exchange, any retribution. कोई बदला नहीं ले सके यहाँ, बहुत they were very weak. But on the day of resurrection, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise these mazloom and will ask, today is your day. If you ask anyone to be forgiven, I will forgive him. Do you understand me? So intercession, we have to be very careful, and we should not underestimate anyone. وَقُولِ رَبِّ زِدْنِي إِلْمًا. It carries on, Surah Taha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and saying to Prophet actually, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling that وَقُولِ رَبِّ زِدْنِي إِلْمًا. O Prophet say, oh my Lord, do dua kijiye, do dua. Oh my Lord, increase my ilm. Now, let me tell you here, I do not know what is wrong. Up till now, I have thought about it, but perhaps you could give a better light some days. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first thing He's created is pen. First thing He created is qalam. Why? To write this. And of course, to write taqdeer and the decree and everything else. But the first thing He created was pen. You have got a surah called Surah Qalam. The first 5 ayah was revealed unto Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Khalaqal insan min alaq. Iqra wa rabbukal akram. Allazi allama bil qalam. Allama al insan ma lam ya'lam. 5 ayah. How many times you have got to read? Use the pen. Pen? More than 1400 years ago? Pen? Man, until recently there used to be villages without pen, not one pen in a village. Many. And at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 5 ayah revealed, padh lekh qalam ka istemal kar, acquire knowledge, this, that and the other. Knowledge. So we take pride. But there is something wrong, that in the whole world, the most illiterate, the most uneducated lot are Muslims. You may not believe me, or you may not buy it, but that's the truth. Till recently, that was not the case, but now we are the most sort of uneducated. Now, education, there are 2 types, remember, in the world. To me, it is only 1 type, but that's what they say. Number 1 is secular education, which is also called modern education. And the other is called religious education. I do not know where that split has come. Vertical split. This is secular and modern education. This is religious education. I do not have a clue where this came from. Perhaps because of the decay and degeneration and downfall of the Muslims, from there it has come into. And the other deliberately and intentionally has tried to split. This is a modern and secular education. This is a religious education, and therefore there is a difference between the two, either this or the other. Now, I ask you a question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there are two bodies of water. Two bodies of water. Haza azbun foratun. Wahaza milhun ojajun. This is sweet and palatable and delicious water. And this one is salty and bitter water. وَبَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ. Between the two is the barrier. They do not meet each other. Tell me, is it religious education or secular education? Quran, it says, I'm quoting you from Quran, there are two bodies of water. But who found it out?
Non-Muslims.
Non-Muslim. Maurice Bucaille, the great French surgeon, the one who has written the book called Islam, Bible, Science, Bible and Quran, or Bible, Science and Quran. Yeah. Quran says, سَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرِ. This is the ayah from Quran. We have subjected or subjugated for you the sun and the moon. Who has stamped his feet on the moon? Was it a religious education or secular education?
Secular.
I've got no clue what we are up to. And if that is true, then why do we take pride in, which we use even up till now? Every person who gets constipation, he uses that medicine, which is called Senocot. Senocot tablet, syrup, suppository, and in all form. Senocot. What is Senocot? Ibn Sina. From there, the Senocot, the Ibn Sina. So why do we take the name of Ibn Sina? Why do we take the name of Al-Khawarizm, on whose name is algorithm? Why do we take the name of the either Al-Jabr, Hayyan, and all the Atibba? That was secular or modern education. That was not the education in Quran or Hadith. I think we have messed it up. We have messed it up. We were supposed to explore the universe. That's the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time says, look at the universe. Look at your own body. Look at yourself. Quran, ayah from Quran. I'm just translating the words. So, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, then obviously we have to explore the ocean, the sky, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, and so on. And at one stage, we have done it. That's the reason the maximum number of galaxy and planet name is not in English. It is in Arabic. Maximum number of galaxies and planets name are in Arabic. If you don't believe me, go and look at the TED show in America. Nowadays, every country has got a TED show. TED show in America, they will tell you. The scientist is talking. When he was talking, I had sort of my eyes like this. The maximum number of galaxies and planets name in Arabic, yes. But anyway, so we should teach this to our children. Your son, remember this. This is one of the dua as well. It is very relevant and pertinent dua. You are still a child. You are going to grow up. You have to have more knowledge. Rabbi zidni ilma. We have to. And you could see the importance of ilm. Why I am emphasizing this? The reason is we have got a tendency that today religiosity on my head, that I didn't do justice to my deen and to my faith. Let us go to masjid. So the first thing we want to do is amal. Whereas Quran suggests first thing is ilm, not amal, man. First thing is ilm. And Quran attests, this is the word we are going to come later. In Surah Furqan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهِ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. It is the knowledgeable people, the educated people, the scholars. Indeed, they are the one who fear Allah. And that is truth. That is truth. I have quoted this example, how the ilm makes a difference. I quote you another example, so that you understand. I do not know what's wrong with us. You know, when I emphasize the importance of education, and I emphasize the importance of education, both modern and religious, the people take the modern education. Money. Because more modern education, more position, more money. So they take it. A religious education in the corner, which is wrong. Because the main thing is a religious education. We ought to know what are the duties towards my Lord, or what are my sort of duties towards my Prophet. Because first thing is first. Not the modern education, not the livelihood, or not exploring things. But this is part of it. But what we do is we grab those where we get the money from, and the Islamic education or the religious education we left as at the bank. Quran says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. I give you an example, you would understand it. When I used to do the angioplasty or stenting in the heart, patient who got a heart attack and blood tips are narrow, and they are Muslims, they do not have family down there, they are very uncomfortable. So I used to tell them nothing to worry about, and I used to give them a running commentary that my catheter is moving inside your heart very well, no problems here, there, and those sort of things. So I'm reassuring the patient, giving the running commentary. I used to see that a person from my country, very run-of-the-mill, I do not know, maybe not, he does 5 times prayer or not, I do not know, most likely Friday prayer, maybe 5 times prayer, I do not know, but to me he looked like a very sort of a run-of-the-mill Muslim. When I am giving him the running commentary, what he says, listen, he says, Dr. Sahab, I'm in your hand, no problems, you get on with your work. He is very sort of confident. But when I am doing the same thing to scholars, big scholars, I don't want to name them, scholars, not one, their lips are trembling, hands are trembling, tremors, sort of very uncomfortable, very nervous, and so on. Now, it should be the other way around. The run-of-the-mill Muslim should be not content. He should not be at peace. And the scholars should be at peace with themselves. Whatever has to happen will happen. Qaza wa qadar. You can do nothing about it. But no, they are very uncomfortable, nervous. I kept on thinking, I didn't get the answer. Believe me or not, after 10, 15 years, I got the answer. I don't know. Well, now I understand. See the difference. One day, 2 young Sahabi were outside Rasulullah's hujra, and they were doing ha ha ha, laughing. Something must be talking, they must be laughing loudly. Rasulullah heard and he came out. And then he said, Abku katira wa azhaku qalila. Laugh less and cry more. Because, why? Because if you know what happens in the qabr, you would stop burying your dead body. These scholars, they know that if they are dead on the table, they have got nowhere else but to go to qabr. So they haven't got a chance. They will have to face the qabr. So they are scared. Oh, I have not done this wasiyah, I have not done this, I have not done that, I have not told my wife, my son, this, that, and the other, I should have said it, I forgot, and the rest of it, they are scared what they are going to face in the qabr. But this run-of-the-mill Muslim, no problem. We will see what happens. Dr. Sahab, get on with it. He is blunt. He is blunt. That's what I think the answer lies between the two. The scholar is uncomfortable, is trembling, is shivering, he's got tremors in his hand, and this person is run-of-the-mill, and no problem. Dr. Sahib, get on with it. Because he does not understand what he's going to face. That's the reason, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء, because only the knowledgeable people who know what they are going to face, they are the one, they really fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore they fear in all their deeds. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْتَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Order your family members to pray, be steadfast in prayer, wastabir alaha, and show persistence and perseverance in it. Not that gandedar namaz kabhi padha, kabhi na padha, kabhi dil aaya to padh liya when you felt like, and the other days you didn't. No. The prayer, one has to be very strict. And in particular with the family members. That Ibrahim alayhi salam, he did, Rabbi jalli muqim as-salat wa min zuriyati Rabbana wa taqabbal dua. But there is no point in doing this dua and not working on it at home. Because that is our irony. That is our one of the problems. That we ask for something but we don't work for it. Remember, this dua will not be accepted. There are times you could do nothing about it. We are ill. What can we do? Maximum is go to the doctor, get some medicine. Someone has got cancer, someone has got something else. You can't do too much. Okay, go to doctor, whatever. But the rest is really. So you do dua. There are many times you could do nothing except dua. But there are times that you could do something, then do dua. For example, I give you a clue. رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. O our Lord, bestow us, bless our wives, us and our children, and make them the leaders of the muttaqeen. Yeah? رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ. Make them the coolness of our eyes, the delight of our eyes. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. And make us the imam of the, or leader of the muttaqeen. Subhanallah. Look at this, badmash. He yaad kar liya, rat liya dua. But he does nothing at home. He does nothing at home. He does not work on his wife. He does not work on his children. Rat liya ek dua just by rote. رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Whether the son prays or not, whether the son is getting Islamic education or not, whether the son recites the Quran or not, whether the son fasts or not, and leader of the muttaqeen. Look at that. So he is just a rote. Similarly, Rabbi Jalli Muqimu Salatu min Zuriyati Rabbana wa taqabbal dua. He has never worked hard. He has not made a planning. He does not mean it really. He just simply has memorized by rote and then he just simply doing this dua. So we have to remember, whatever we ask for dua, we have to work on it. You have got children and you say Rabbi Jalli Muqimu Salatu min Zuriyati and you don't bring to the masjid. I see some people are lucky. They are fortunate. They bring their children. I become very happy. That's what I used to do. Car full and I used to bring the mosque, not here, of course. So if you don't bring the children to the mosque and you are not sincere, you're not emphasizing the importance of prayer and just simply khali, kholi, empty, then you are doing dua. Rabbi Jalli Muqim as-salah. It won't work, man. And that is how it is not working for anything in our life. For whatever we are asking dua, we have to work for it. Remember that statement. What is within our limits? If it is not within your limits, you can't do much about it. Now look, Surah Anbiya. Surah Anbiya discusses about a lot of prophets. I'm not going to go into detail, but one or two points I would like to highlight. اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. Has come very near for the mankind. The time of, what has come near? The time of accountability. हिसाब किताब का वक्त आ गया है. हिसाब का वक्त, accounting का वक्त. So the time has come near for their accountability. وهم في غفلة, and they are heedless. معرضون, and they are turning away. So in other words, they are not giving any respect. So accountability, we don't hear too much about accountability. You must have heard the maximum number of accountability from me rather than from anyone else. We don't hear about accountability. When Allah, would you believe only the word hisab, not hasibin, and not other word? Because hisab has come in Quran in various shapes. But only hisab. Do you know how many times Quran has? Only 39 times. Only hisab, the word hisab. So, why don't we keep that into equation when the religiosity reigns over our head, that my God, I have to face accountability? And believe me, if you think like that, then you would realize, then the heart will race, then the tears will come, that I cannot face accountability. I cannot face accountability now. You ask me a question. Where did you lead your whole life? 5 questions, isn't it? 5 questions. Rasulullah said, unless you answer 5 questions, you will not be able to take a step, you will not be able to move on the day of resurrection. What are those 5 questions? Easy. Number 1. Questions easy, not the answer easy. Question number 1. How did you lead your life? Number 2, how did you lead your youth life? Where did you earn your money from? Where did you spend your money to? And did you acquire knowledge? And if you did you spend it? And spend it for what? So in other words, earning money, where did you earn from? Where did you spend to? And how did you acquire the knowledge? Where did you spend to? So this accountability we have to ask the question. Then we will start. Then our heart will race. No question about it. That look, at the moment if you ask me, I cannot answer. I ask myself question, where did I get the money from? How did I earn? Forget about how did I have not earned a penny haram. Inshallah, I was a servant, I got the salary and I spent. But where did I spend? I will go mad. I have earned so much in my life. Where is that money? What happened to it? I can't give now. Think on the day of resurrection, when the sweats, the amount of sweats, the amount of nervousness, nervous breakdown, the majesty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His might, His glory, His majesty, His throne, the way it would be, we will be all very nervous. And if you are nervous, how can you give accountability? We can't give accountability now. How can we give accountability there? Then we will be scared. So we have to care about. Quran says, "Fas'alu ahla zikr in kuntum la ta'lamun." Here actually it means ask the people of the scripture. People of the scripture. अहले किताब के जो बड़े लोग हैं, तो उनसे पूछो जा करके. Are you a new prophet? What you are telling to the people, the other prophets, they used to tell the same thing to their people. So ask the people of the book. But also it means ask the scholars. So we should have friendship with scholars, so that we sit down, we learn from them. They will not talk something funny. Kullu nafsin zaiqatul maut. Every person will test the death. وَنَبْلُوهُ and وَنَبْلُوكُمْ, and we are testing you. Bishar, with the evil, wal khair, and the goodness, fitnatan, as a trial, wa ilayna turja'un, and to us you will be your return. So in other words, whatever we have in this world, we have got a lot of money, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing. We have got a big house, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing. We have got a happy news, or good news in the family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing. Someone is in bad shape, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing. So what it does is, it does not allow a person who is in good shape to have arrogance. He will know that I am being tested. So whatever I have got, I have to give to the others whatever rights the others have. So it will create humility in that person, a modesty in that person. I think I would skip. I will take 3-4 more minutes. Now here, and I have emphasized this again, and I have emphasized over and over again about ilm, and the second thing now, zan, which Quran uses the word zan. We use in our language as well. Zan means guman, guess, conjecture, assumption. This is zan. So what happens is, I have seen many, I know in my class, the way the people talk about, they, in their head, they form a picture of Islam. Remember this. In the head, they form a picture of Islam. And then they say, that's what the Islam is. Huh? Where does that get from? Where did he get from? He does not know Arabic, he does not know Quran, he does not know Hadith, but nevertheless he forms a picture in his head and he thinks, what else Islam could be? This is what Islam is. Where did he get that from? This is very rampant and very common. You see that now. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ, and among the people, مَنْ يُجَادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ, the one who quarrels, disputes about Allah, بِغَيْرِ ilm, without ilm, without knowledge, without information. وَيَتَّبِعْ, and he follows, kulla shaitani marid, and he follows every circus shaitan or transgressing shaitan. And another place it says, inna zanna la yughni min al-haqq shay'a, that the conjecture will not suffice about the truth. So when we reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we will find it out that we didn't do well really. Our religiosity was based on conjecture, not on Quran or Hadith. Second, now here to give you a feel, وَمَنْ يُحِنِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ مُكْرِمٍ. Remember, बिल्कुल जिसको कहते हैं ना कि गिरा में बांध ले अपने पास. Tie it in the knot. Make it the part of your, as a very strong point of your life, that no one could humiliate you. No one could insult you. No one could disgrace you if Allah does not want. And no one could give you respect. No one could give you honor. No one could give you any grace if He doesn't want. So in other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives the izzah, He gives the zillah. Yeah? Allama malka al-mulk, tuti al-mulk man tasha, wa tanzu al-mulk mimman tasha, wa tu'izzu man tasha, wa tuzillu man tasha. So izzah and zillah comes from Him. If someone wants to humiliate us, we should always think it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think I should just wait. Yes, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the end of Surah Hajj, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu rka'u wasjudu wa'budu rabbakum waf'alul khair la'allakum tuflihun. So we should do ruku and sujood. That means we should pray and do salah, and we should do good, waf'alul khair la'allakum, so that we could be successful. And the last thing is, وَفِي هَذَا لِيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ شَهِيدًا عَلَيْكُمْ وَتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that we have to bear witness on the people, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will bear witness on us. He will be asked about us, how did he take the message to us, and we will be asked about the non-Muslims, that whether you took the message to them or not, because we are supposed to be shahid. So we have to understand, I think I should stop here. We have to understand that none of us is a doctor, engineer, or builder or contractor or accounts officer or whatever. We are all to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is not going to ask cardiology, not going to ask engineering. He is going to ask simple questions. I gave you this much IQ, this much brain, this much capability, this much money. What did you do with it? Give me the accountability. It's very simple. And always emphasize this point, because this point is usually not emphasized. You know what is emphasized is, paisa ka hisab dena hoga babu. You will have to give accountability of the money. But what is not usually emphasized is this. This is the big thing. You will need to give accountability of your brain, of your planning capability. You used to plan for this world, for yourself. You were a big planner. What planning did you have for the akhirah? Nothing, zilch. You had a big brain. You proved your worth to the largest universities in the world. Well, I agree. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, I agree. Show your worth. What did you do for the life hereafter? Only for that world you got whatever you worked for. So we have to understand that we will be accountable for everything. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the humiliation and disgrace of accountability on the day of judgment. Somehow, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself says that my mercy encompasses everything, only because of His mercy we have got some hope and some expectation that we would be saved somehow. We do not know how. Jazakumullah khair. Rabbana inna amanna faghfir lana dhunubana wa qina azaban nar. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azaban nar. Allahumma na'udzu bika min fitnatil mahya wal mamat wa na'udzu bika min fitnatil qabr wa min fitnatil masihid dajjal. Allahumma na'udzu bika min azabil qabr. Allahumma na'udzu bika min fitnatil المسيح الدجال. اللهم نعوذ بك من فتنة المحيا والممات. اللهم نعوذ بك من جهد البلاء وسوء القضاء ودرك الشقاء وشماتة الأعداء. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الهم والحزن والجبن والبخل والعجز والكسل وذل الدين وغلبة الرجال. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة وما يقربنا إليها من قول وفعل وعمل. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا ورزقا حلالا طيبا وعملا متقبلا والشفاء من كل داء يا شافي يا سلام. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. Oh Allah, protect the Muslim Ummah from the evils. Protect the Muslim youth, Ya Allah, from the sense of or lack of shame or lack of bashfulness or lack of decency. Oh Allah, save the Muslim youth from the fahash, Ya Rabbul Alameen, and bless us in this world and in the life hereafter. Wa sallallahu ala khairi khalqi Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bi rahmatika ya arhamar.